it's quiet for the moment, so I can use my microphone. So, we'll see how long that lasts. Alright, so, I think for now I'm going to continue having people invade me throughout the area. I'm just taking out one by one. This will be interesting. If I can, yeah, cool. Good to know that it's not failing. Let's see. Talisman does provide the poise buff, but I use it mostly for force, because that's the only way to deal with people who like have absurd amounts of poise and just spam something like a great hammer, or when it's like a 4v1. It's for those two scenarios. I don't have any simple equipment, but I'm also like basically max capped, so I'll just stay at where I am. Oh. These guys have so much health. Yeah, it is. What's the best one? The best one I ever use for like when I'm actually trying to use it to attack is the lightning stick, because it does a small little AoE and it's really hard to avoid. Oh, got an invader. Okay, gotcha. So 5 swings is enough to deplete your stamina completely. Okay, so there's another one incoming, but I don't know where they are. There they are. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is turned into a 2v1. Oh, never mind. That's polite. Oh, that was the smaller version. Interesting. I'm not used to them, rapier and off parry. I still don't, I don't remember if rapier does a good parry. I think people have used it on me before. I don't know. I'm not used to, people not just all attacking me at once. Surprisingly honorable little group we have here. Wow, that was surprisingly well formed. Interesting, okay. Ooh, that was close. I'm surprised that this actually turned into a Fight Club style thing. Wow. Okay. Thought you tried and let's see. I'll give it a shot. What rapiers do I have? I don't think I have a lot of them because I don't really prefer rapiers. Let's see. No, it's just an attack in the offhand. Oh well. I'm not used to this. Someone so friendly. So I guess we're just hanging out. That's neat. So I've killed all the dudes up here. There's probably another one, right? Probably another rapier. Which one is that you've tried that has like the offhand parry? Because I'm gonna try and kill all the knights while you answer that. Got this giant arrow sticking out of me. It's not a rapier. Nailbreaker doesn't count as a rapier. Whoa. Whoa. that's a good plan for here. I gotta go save that red spirit. Come on, Shiro, stay alive. Upgrade your attack. Oh! That fucking snipe out of nowhere. Cool. Since a dagger. Okay, I'll try some after when I have like some free time. I gotta stay shield first. Ooh, good job. Okay. Holy crap. Oh, visual glitch. Okay, so let's see. Whoa! I can't look off the screen for like 2 seconds. Wow, this is not what I expected when oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was accidental. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Simon, I'm sorry, Stone. I do.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So. Would the crystal sages rapiers count? That counts as a rapier. That might tell us if the general moveset of rapiers has it. I think it's only the parrying dagger that has it though. Let's see. Parrying dagger. I don't have a lot of rapiers because I don't really like the rapier moveset, but let's see. Oh, it does. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, I haven't gotten the ring of reversal, so I guess go get that. Have I cleared out the entire area? I think I missed like a giant or something. Yeah, I left the giant there. Kinda worried when I go back to get the reversal ring. This guy's gonna backstab the shit out of me, but oh well. Back to PvP. So I'm gonna go kill the giant, and then I'm just gonna continuously attack things. Usually I get a lot of, PvP-wise, I get a lot of rapier spammers, and I want to like the Dragon Slayer's Great Axe. Oh, hello. Well, I guess I fucked that one up.
I'm not going to use the breakthrough parry everyone.
Not really, because, as I said, parrying cheapens the game, so I'm not used to it. Plus, I don't really like it. Because parrying literally just gives you a ton of health damage, and it's not hard at all. You literally just have to keep spamming it between attacks. And if they just attacked, it will hit them and do a ton of damage. So it's a lot. Like, it's not as fun for me to use. That's why. And if I was going to parry, the rapier wouldn't be the one to choose. It would be something like, I don't know, the cestus or some kind of like fisticuffs weapon like these, Demon's Fist maybe. Because those ones have a like instant one which can be predictably used in between like R1 spammers. So that's like, parrying is not difficult when you're in Dark Souls 3 PvP. It's difficult in the previous games because in the previous games you had to like do something other than just spam the button after being hit. I mean, I guess there is still more to it, but it's very, very easy to just use for free damage. What's my view on it? I'm gonna wait until I've killed everything this time before wasting all of my Estus handling both the enemies in the world and the invaders. I haven't played this character in too long, I think. I'm not just seeing the movesets. Oh, sure. I don't get that feeling out of it, though. I know a lot of people do, but it's like literally just... I think the fact that it's so easy takes it out of me. Because, like, PvP with, say, a left-handed weapon, for one, because you can't backstab with it. That's challenging to do, because then you have to, like, waste all of your backstab opportunities. You can still backstab with bigger weapons, but it's... And that's probably why I like to use a left-handed, straight sword. But, as said before, everyone has their own opinion, so... I mean, if you like it, go for it. Probably won't, though. Might sacrifice some health for Estus effectiveness. Nah. Health is too valuable. Gonna stealth and hopefully not get detected so that I can just bat this guy off the edge. Cool. Then I've just got to kill the three other silver knights, and then I'm good.
Didn't really get the feeling when people spammed it, and you get it things like rolling attacks.
Oh yeah, you can get it off of rolling attacks as well. If you get really good at it, it takes more skill than it does to just spam it, but at the same time, it's too easy to parry already, just at base. so it takes the enjoyment out of it for me. For example, like using ultra greatsword, like this one. It's very difficult to actually get any hits in with it. You have to use it wisely, like when someone thinks they're going to get an attack up on you, and then otherwise you won't ever hit with it. So I like it. And PvP is all prediction parries. You can't ever learn parry times. So it's either spam it or predict it. Which I guess is okay, but it takes the stress off of your reflexes and puts it onto luck, I guess. That doesn't devalue parrying at all. Parrying for wimps was just like a joke. I mean, I did try it a few times. Like, I gave it some shots back when this character was still in the hundreds, and I was like, first doing some PvP in Dark Souls 3. It was not terribly enjoyable. Like, you add the Hornet Ring and it's an instant kill, and then the lightning. There's no pacing back and forth, careful, like, management of what your enemy is doing. Why Dark Darkest Doors puts more damage. It does more damage than the Refined Lightning, and you don't ever have to buff it. It's a permanently more damaging thing. If you level both Intellect and Faith together. This character has, let's see. Yeah, it's got 40 down the board. So then the most possible damage I can get out of it is by infusing it with Dark, and it does what? It has 701 basic damage, but that's not counting like if it hits during a counter, and you don't ever have to rebuff it. It did more when I had more intelligence, but I lost some of it in exchange for, I think, yeah, I pumped Vigor, because I wanted extra health. And I have a ton of health. I think I've cleared the area, so now would be the time to burr. And Dread Finger. And then we'll just hunt them one by one, because that's what I prefer to do. Although, I don't know what the maximum is for Refined plus Lightning. I think it's like, I think it hits in the 800s, but it doesn't benefit from intelligence, and everyone, if you pump your endurance stat up, it increases your lightning absorption. But there's no armor or real easy way to get dark absorption, so it does more damage. And Power Within does steady damage to you. So if you lose a bunch of health, it can kill you. If you get poisoned, it can kill you. If you survive because of, what's it called? Tears of Denial, it can kill you. And it only gives you a 20% buff. It doesn't even give you that much. If he does. I can drag him over to an area that is easier to 1v1. And then I can pull I'm trying to drag them over to areas where they're alone so that I can 1v1 them. Oh, so there's 3 Aldrich. I'm not used to having 3 Aldrich in one area. Okay, so the best place to lose them is going up the stairs and then towards the ladder. You can do a little jump off and escape them if you time it correctly. I don't know how close they are though. What happens if you stack it with Bountiful Sunlight? I think Bountiful Sunlight is strong enough to outpace it. The problem is that it still does its damage. So if you like get hit, sometimes fusion shows good scaling but are garbage, like my +10. Shit. Oh yeah, but the actual damage on this is already great. You can tell in the corner. 693 one-handed, 701 two-handed, which is freaking wonderful. I mean, it's not going to one-shot someone unless I like do the power attack. Like hit them mid-roll or something. That one-shots people, but other than that, there's not really like a way to do it beyond stacking and relying on a buff that disappears mid-combat. And in order to reapply it, you have to leave yourself vulnerable. So they get to do more damage and you run out of health faster. Which is not viable at all when you're not like invading. If you're the host and you're just alone, you cannot do you cannot waste your whatchamacallit, your health on anything. The reason I like Dark is because even though it takes some of the physical damage away, it gives me a damage type that almost no one has resistance to. On top of that, I get a bunch of, it's like higher max damage, so the max damage is already higher. And on top of that, you can already use it to like bypass things like shields, because it can do up to 90 to 100 damage straight through a shield if it doesn't have like super high dark absorption, which I don't think any have. So literally I chose it because of its damage type and the fact that it hits pretty high damage without needing to be rebuffed. Because like, that's why I don't cast Bountiful Sunlight all the time. It's more for recovery. That's like, if I'm going into a fight and I'm slightly damaged and I'm pretty sure I'll take more hits, then that's when I use it. I need to even this out because they're all sticking together. Yeah, he's gonna run back to his friends, so. Can you buff it with Darkblade or Human Pine Resin? You can, but like I said, you have to like sustain the buff. Infusions are permanent, so you don't ever have to rebuff it. And if it disappears in mid-combat, well, you lose all that damage, but if it's infused, it keeps all the damage. That's like... The Human Pine Resin also doesn't give you the scaling, it just gives you a flat damage upgrade. Like, even Darkblade isn't... It doesn't scale nearly as well as something like Lightning Blade or Blade of the Dark Moon. Need warmth. Oh man. I have warmth, but I don't use it because it can heal them as well. And every bit of damage is important. This guy looks like he's alone. It was just him and me. I'm all for going one-on-one. But I mean, if he's gonna keep just walking away, that's fine. Well, I can do that too, and I'll disappear. You can also tell what types of weapons people are good at dodging with. Use Fume Ultra. Definitely not. I hate smashy swords. Those suck. That's more personal. Well, they don't suck. They're awesome, but personal choice is that I don't like the way that they move, and they have a very limited hitbox. Something like the Astora's Greatsword hits sideways. So that thing can hit anyone between where it starts and where it finishes. But the Fume Ultra Greatsword can only hit in like an up and down area. Also behind you, but I'm not worried about backstabs. Because like you can turn while attacking, which is what I usually do. I'm just gonna wait here and see what he does. Yeah, okay, he's not actually attacking. Well, it hits sideways. Yeah, but if you want to attack with a Ultra Greatsword one-handed, then this is not... I don't have the build for that. I think the Fume Ultra Greatsword takes like 50 strength, doesn't it? Something like that. Something super high. I'm hoping that he'll come over here and I can just force him off, because he's one who will literally just sit indefinitely until one of his friends shows up. Cool. How about this? Does that one still have a sideways moveset? Let's go Guns 1 or co-op. What does that mean? You're asking to team up. I don't do... Well, I do. But for the moment, I'm doing solo PvP. turn off Blade of the Darkmoon, because screw that.
So Handra's sideways moveset and two-hand can be infused.
Interesting. It's kind of heavy, though. You can't use multiple weapons with it, usually. What's its... Oh, let's look at the thugs. Yeah, 50 strength requirement. Zweihander weighs 10, so it's not that bad. It's still hard to use multiple weapons alongside it, though. Let's sit behind here for a moment. And get stream sniped, probably. Let's see. I don't know if its scaling is good enough for... Because this has quality scaling, like, I think double Bs. And this has, I think the most this would get up to is like, maybe a C, maybe 2 Cs? Possibly a B in strength. So, I don't think it would scale as well. Maybe. I'll check out its damage after I die, which is inevitable. Let's see if I can catch one of them alone again. Ooh, Mad Phantom. Hiya, Maddie. You hostile? Yeah, okay. Sometimes Mad Phantoms, like, will team up with me against all the other ones because it doesn't matter to them which ones they kill, which is nice. Ooh, didn't one-shot him. Cool. One down.
Zweihander is BC.
Okay, so maybe. I'll take a look at it. That'll probably be a good idea. If it does have really good damage when infused. Some swords have really good scaling. Yeah, like the Corbian Scythe that you mentioned. It looks like it has great scaling, but it doesn't have very amazing base damage, so only the infusion gets good buffs. Like right there. That's what? A 189, I think. 189 physical damage. The only reason I have one infused is because it's amazing for countering people who shield spam. Just hold up your shield, well, I got a scythe. An infused scythe, so it does its base damage plus its infusion damage mildly through your shield. Okay, well, that was my fault.
Zweihander Chaos Infused is 7 or 8 split.
Okay. That's not bad. You go see what that is. Okay, so if we look at the scaling alone, the Zweihander would be pretty good. I don't know how it would do held up to the Astora Greatsword, though, because the Astora's Greatsword is lighter, for one, so it doesn't need as much carry weight, which is always a good thing. It already has pretty amazing scaling. It's double Bs, I think. I can actually check. Let's see. Astora Greatsword. So, in looking at it, So apparently it can do a ton of damage if it's got a hollow infusion. Interesting. So 60 plus in strength, dex, and luck. This weapon has amazing damage and... Gotcha, okay. So, looking at these... The scaling for... Yeah, the regular scaling for it is... Oh, it's double C's. I thought it was double B's. Oh, it's double B's when refined. Okay. Then the Zweihander might have better stats, actually. Let's find out. Zweihander. I'll go and clear out the area while I'm doing this. Dark Soul. Oh. Maybe we should do some invasions, actually. That might be a good idea. Okay. So, looking at the stat table... Oh, it has a C and a D. So it doesn't have as good infusion status as the Astoria Greatsword already. That's unfortunate. Well, what's it scaling in Dark? Dark has... What is this one? 2 A's. And that one has 2 B's. Oh. And it also has Dex at a D scaling rather than a C scaling. So the Astoria Greatsword is better for infusions. 224 stat added, so that's somewhere around 600 damage, I want to say. 620 maybe? Somewhere around there. And the Astoria's Greatsword has a much higher one. So hand Chaos Infusion would be maybe just better for fire. Although I think fire and dark have the same scaling. Yeah, they do. How I'm reading something and avoiding all of these arrows at the same time, I don't know. Chaos Infusion. Oh. Okay, so Chaos Infusion is almost the same. It just does like 3 points less damage, which is weird. No, I'm just reading that wrong. So it's the same, but it doesn't have as good scaling. Where am I going? I'm supposed to be grabbing my souls. Well, I've tried a lot of weapons out. Like, I've spent a lot of time looking through all the movesets. And, for example, the Sunlight Straight Sword is the absolute best damage you can get out of a straight sword. It outperforms every other one, and if you include the buff, it does more max damage than even that. Because like the Dark Sword also got nerfed. It was almost as good as the Astoria's Greatsword, except that it got nerfed and its stamina consumption was worse. So like it was already very close, but now it's not even a contest. It lost like what, 50 damage? And its scaling wasn't improved to compensate, so it's literally just worse. So, well, what's another one I tried? So looking through the straight swords, I found all those. I looked through the Ultra Great Swords before, and it was just a while ago that I looked through everything. But I wasn't sure that the Zweihander wasn't better. The Astoria's Great Sword seems to have the best scaling. I don't think you can infuse the Fume Ultra Great Sword either. Whoa. Okay, I'll come kill you in a second. Let's see. Can you infuse the Fume's Ultra Great Sword? Is that a thing you can do? Because even if its moveset is balls, if it can, like, one-shot someone, it might be worth spamming, just to see if it works. For the hell of it. Did I kill those ones over there? Don't remember. Don't think so. Killed that one. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. What about the regular Ultra Greatsword? The Greatsword? I think that one has amazing strength. Oh no. That one has quality scaling as well. Let's see. But that one's really heavy. It's like almost 3 times. It's like 4 points from almost 3 times the weight of the Astora's Greatsword. Let's see. Oh, they renamed it the Ultra Greatsword. Dark Souls 3 Ultra Greatsword. We can see what its scaling options are, but I don't think it has enough like rough damage to equate. Because like, even if the split damage is amazing, if it doesn't scale well, it doesn't take advantage of the stats, which is what's important. All right, I forgot one. Let's see. It's most effective greatsword. Okay, making a weapon called the Ultra Greatsword, and it's in the Ultra Greatsword class. Probably not a great idea. I can't find it online. Oh, it's just called the Greatsword. Okay. Oh, yeah, I was looking at that. Never mind. It's called the Greatsword still. Looking at its damage. If this would load. Come on, laptop, you can do it. You can do it. Regular is 2 C's. Dark is CDBB. Yeah. The Astora's Greatsword is best for infusing them. Which is what I expected. For a difference in damage, though, we could swap out for weapons that I already know are pretty great. The Warden's Twin Blades are pretty amazing for their speed. Like, the combined damage they do is pretty great. The Katana isn't even fully upgraded, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Yeah, these babies. 431, and like, if you wield both together, I don't remember exactly how it works, but there's a little bit of extra damage because they both hit. Let's see. Oh, they won't do shit against these guys, so these guys have fire resistance and all that shit. Whoa, am I overweight? I didn't even notice. Oh yeah. Okay. Well. Put that on. It's not much health loss. Warden Twin Blades. Yeah, these are pretty fast. And they have good fire damage, although I think fire is pretty easily resisted. Probably should have been dark. About Black Knight Greatsword. The axe does, but it's a very predictable moveset. Like, I know from my own experience that it's super easy for me to dodge. Like, quite literally, all you have to do is wait a half second before dodging. There is no difficulty in avoiding that thing at all. And then its damage is great, but it's very slow and takes a lot of stamina. Which is important to notice. So like, you perform less effectively with a weapon if you run out of stamina in two hits than you would in 3 hits. I still have base stamina, basically. I'm at 10 endurance, because I never pump endurance, because you can use the default already pretty well. So that's like 93 stamina. 104 is the buffed with the ring. But we can check. Let's see. Well, yeah, Black Knight Greatsword has pretty high damage. For a Greatsword, actually, now that I think of it. We actually arrange by attack power. So let's see. Greatsword of Judgment has the highest damage, I think, out of all Greatswords. Yeah. So, Greatsword of Judgment would be the one for just doing the most brute damage. Drake Blood Greatsword has pretty great refined damage, now that I look at it. Wow, that's a lot. And it does both magic and lightning. Interesting. What makes this one better is that it has a buff, though, which isn't exactly amazing. Let's see. 701. Dancer's Enchanted Swords. I don't agree that this has high damage, because people have resistance to it. Yeah, those are really weird. So the left blade does 131 damage and a ton of fire damage, and the other one does 131 damage roughly and a ton of magic damage, but it does less. So your main hand, it does less damage. That's no bueno. I know this scythe doesn't have fucking amazing damage, but it pierces shields, that's why I keep it. Storage Sword. It's an ultra great sword. It gives you poise you need. Yeah, okay. That's not going anywhere. Lothric Knight Greatsword, how about that? That has lightning damage, so in order to get good damage off of that, you'd have to lightning infuse it. And I've already looked at it. So it does really great lightning damage, and it would do good damage against someone like me, who hasn't leveled endurance at all. Well, most people level endurance. That's like the most leveled stat out of anyone. They like to level endurance up to like, I don't know, 20 to 30 usually, which gives you a bunch of lightning resistance. So even if you had super high lightning resistance, comparatively it would do less damage than a dark weapon, simply because it's harder to resist dark damage. Like right now, I already have, over there I have 20 points of lightning absorption, or basically 21. If you round it up. I have less dark damage absorption, because in order to resist dark, you need like specific sets. There aren't a lot of sets that resist dark. Like there's Gundyrs, which is super heavy. There's Lorians. Smoes, but that's like ungodly heavy. And there's Artoriuses. The rest of them have dark as an afterthought. Like it's not the highest. So dark is a really good way to get damage through, even if they have high resist. If you literally just want to one-shot everyone who's like naked, or has no, whatchamacallit, or has no gear, like, they're just sitting there, they have the maximum amount of damage because they're going with Flynn's Ring and they don't wear any armor. That's the person you want to kill? Yes, go with Lothric Sword, or any of the other ones. Because you can one-shot them. But if you want to do elemental damage, like the dark one, to get the maximum amount of damage on people who have resistant armor and stuff, then you would go for the Astora's Greatsword. And yes, it does do amazing damage, but you're still not getting that all of that damage is going into lightning. The majority of it anyways, not all of it, but the majority of the damage that you're getting is going into the lightning. So while it does a lot of damage to people who don't have, like, endurance leveled, anyone with endurance leveled, even, like, I don't know, 10 points. If they put 10 points into endurance and get it up to 20, they already get a bonus, like, 5% reduced of all lightning damage they take. Base. That's 5%, so 5% of, what's 5% of 800? 5% of 800 is, like, 40 damage. So it reduces all damage you do by 40. The Dark Store's Greatsword catches up if you minus 40 from the stacked scaling, I'm pretty sure. Then you have to count the resistance from, like, the physical damage, because it's split damage. Because it's split damage, it does less damage already. So it doesn't do as much. And I think the Lothric Knight Greatsword has already... or Lothric Knight Ultra Greatsword has already, what is it? I think I might have one on me. Let's see. I think it does not as much lightning damage as it does physical damage, which cuts its scaling a lot. Unfortunately. Don't have one on me. I go check my bank. What's another good damage one? Another good damage weapon... Ooh, I don't know. There aren't a lot of, like, meta weapons in this game. There's, like, a few really, really, really great damage ones. And that's it. Starts with 79 lightning. It starts with 79 lightning, though. It doesn't start with 79 dark. What I'm saying is that even though it looks like it does more damage, because of resistances, it does less. Even if it did, like, 100 more damage than, whatever this is 701. So even if it did over, if it did 801 damage at 40, 40, 40, 40. Let's say, or whatever the faith equivalent is, I guess that would be like 45, 45, and 60 for faith. Even if it had somewhere around 800, it would be less. Cathedral Knight is the same situation as the Black Knight, or the Fume Ultra Greatsword, which it does way more damage, but it has like only an up and down moveset. If you one-handed, I think it goes sideways, but it loses some of the extra damage because of it. Two-handed is kind of important because that also gives you extra poise, or hyper armor, whatever you want to call it. They're the same thing in this game. And then Dark in general is just awesome against, like, every armor set, almost. Let's look at all the regular armor sets. This one has good lightning resist. This one has good lightning resist. This has meh lightning resist. And this one has reasonable lightning resist. If I was going for some random moveset, I think one of the most common ones is the Elite Knight set. Let's look at that. Elite Knight set. That's a metal set, so it has good light. It doesn't have great lightning.
Lorians are profane.
Lorians has good damage, but it's an ultra greatsword and it's too slow. It uses too much stamina. The Twin Prince's greatsword is fucking awesome. What is that? Base of, yeah, 613 in 40, 40, 40 scaling. That's pretty great, actually. It's outperformed by the Greatsword of Judgment, though. Here it is. Greatsword of Judgment does 610 when it's dual wielded. Let's actually look at its full damage. Whoops. So we're looking at the Greatsword of Judgment's full damage. We gotta buff it, and the full damage you can put on the go is 690. It does as much as an Ultra Greatsword. Firelink Greatsword is not as good as the Twin Prince's. I can already tell you that. The Twin Prince's out-damages it. And it has better, like, whatchamacallit, weapon arts. This one is the Greatsword of Judgment is the highest damage-dealing Greatsword in the game right now. This baby right here. Just Greatsword, not like Ultra Greatswords or whatever. This thing hits the hardest. Because it has a 690 690 weapon damage when it's like buffed from its weapon art, which can be used on the go and only requires you to have some FP. It doesn't require you to pause combat because it doesn't attack. And this gives you poise, that little thrust right there, and it travels you forward. So it's got good weapon art, it's got good moveset, it's got good damage. If it wasn't magic damage, I'd use it, but it is magic damage, so it suffers a little bit from, in having magic damage, because it's easy to do that. Brigand twin daggers. Let's see. Twin daggers. I don't need to know. Okay. Let me think. If that's at plus 10, what's that at? That's at like... I'm gonna say somewhere around like 300 damage, roughly. And they're fast, and they do have quick step. But they don't have a lot of... They have critical damage, which is nice. Critical damage is always well and good, because that's good for backstabs and things. But I don't really go for backstabs, so... Even though those would technically be better if I wanted to conserve stamina, I don't go for backstabs or parries, so those are more for parry people. I think they'd be good for you. If you like parried and then immediately swapped over and stabbed, those would do a ton of critical damage on top of their damage already. Isn't the Hollow Slayer the best? Hollow Slayer. The Hollow Slayer Greatsword, no, it isn't. It hits, God knows, I don't even remember anymore. I did a test a while ago, and like upgraded it to full and saw how it scaled, and it did not hold up well. Here it is. It's at 529. This thing outclasses it by over 100 points. There's your Hollow Slayer Greatsword. Against hollows, it does more damage. It does like 700. But against people, like other players, it does not. This does 610 to its 529. Buffed, this does 690, and this does still 529. And it also doesn't give you as much poise. So like you have to sacrifice, or hyper armor, whatever. You have to sacrifice poison, hyper armor for less damage and stamina consumption. It's like, you can't possibly get anything good out of it. The Hollow Slayer Greatsword just doesn't do enough damage. Although I will say, if you don't have like a quality build, like everything is up to 40, Hollow Slayer Greatsword is definitely the best bet, I think. That or Refined Claymore. I know Refined Claymore can hit pretty high. Let's see. I have one of those, I think. Lightning Claymore. Here it is, Refined Claymore. Yeah, 537, so that outclasses the Hollow Slayer Greatsword anyways. Refined Claymore is your best bet if you're only leveling Strength and Dex. Sharp Dagger first it does riposte then. Yeah, that stuff is crazy. Some daggers also do bleed damage, and if you have high enough luck, the critical damage plus the bleed will like bleed them during stab and just instantly kill pretty much everybody. But in order to do it, you have to shove all of your stats into that one thing, and then you're purely relying on that. Trying to think if there are any other greatswords that are worth mentioning. The Firelink Greatsword doesn't do as much as the Twin Princes, so for fire damage you want Twin Princes. For lightning damage, Greatsword-wise, what's the best Greatsword? I think the Claymore still has the best scaling for lightning, if you're in the Greatsword category. Executioner's Greatsword has pretty good damage, and it gives you the FP regen every time you kill something, but it's kind of limited because it doesn't have as much base damage. If you're, of course, everything I'm saying has to go with a grain of salt, because I don't use buffs. I don't use Lightning Blade, or Blade of the Dark Moon, or whatever. Because
middle of a fight, you just lost over 100 damage that you were relying on for winning. And an infusion never fails you because it's always there. So, if you're going for refined and then stuff, there's other ones. Exile Curved Greatsword. Last time I checked, let's see. I think I have one on here right now. So, looking at this, it has double D's, so probably hits around C and D. I'd say C in strength and a D in dexterity, probably. But I don't think it scales well. Let's check. Exile Greatsword. Yeah, is this has 244 base unupgraded damage, which is nice, but not exactly as reliable as like something that has higher scaling. Let's see. At plus 10, it has double C's, so it's already inferior. Let's see what it is for Dark. For Dark, it has double B's and D and C. For Dex, ooh. So it uses Dex more than Strength. Interesting. That means it gets less damage overall, though. You get more brute damage out of Strength than you do Dex, if I remember correctly. Great Machete. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Let me think. You have to keep in mind, all of these weapons on their own have different movesets, so if you're good with that moveset, it's always going to be better, regardless of its damage. If you can just hit someone more often... this one, I can already tell, is going to have bad scaling, because it only has one primary good stat. It's got an E. So, like, even if you upgrade it to the maximum, if it's in line with the pattern of everything else, it won't ever hit high enough to get double Bs and get good scaling. Exile is best Greatsword. No. Well, not in my opinion. Maybe to other people. It has the same moveset as the Karthus Gravesword. Or the Karthus Curved Sword. Where is it? Same moveset, but it's heavier, and I think they do around the same damage. So, if you're looking to have as many options as possible in weaponry, which is what I prioritize, like I have this, and this. That's 4 different weapons to use. Slashing, this is also slashing, but... Oh yeah, I use mostly slashing, that's unfortunate. That means anyone with slashing resistance is gonna be good. What was I saying? It's the best one, just in general. If you're just looking for damage, I guess the Exile Greatsword is the best. Great Hammer. Great Hammer, Great Hammer. Which one? If we're looking for the best Great Hammer, I think... probably Smo's. Smo's Great Hammer does the most damage, I think. Just brute damage. And it has amazing poise. And its weapon art is very straightforward. What's that? I don't know that mod. It's a wooden Great Hammer. Okay. I don't really mod Dark Souls because it can get you banned, first off, but secondly because the game's already pretty balanced. Wooden Great Hammer. Oh, I didn't kill you guys? I thought I did. Thinking... I think we've covered all the weapons and which one is the best damage-wise. But like, your approach to it is you would be okay with buffing, I think. You're the type who likes to buff, or at least if you don't like to buff, you just think you can buff to keep the damage constant. It is garbage except for the damage you try it out. I know it is. It's got like, it doesn't have a moveset I like, but I've seen people like absolutely destroy with it because of its poise and its weapon art isn't exactly amazing. I think it gives you the poise buff of most other great hammers, or maces in general. But it does do good damage, and it has amazing poise. You can poise right through an ultra greatsword if you're wearing his armor, or have the ring equipped. So quite literally, you're sitting there just swinging away, and you can beat the shit out of anyone who tries to have a poise contest with you. I mean, it doesn't scale the best. Probably be like the old Demon Kings stuff, maybe. Black Knight. I want to say that thing has pretty good. It has like the best damage for a halberd or polearm weapon in general. The problem, just because of its like whatchamacallit, just because it has the spinning attack, so you can keep spinning until your stamina runs out. But what makes it worse is that it doesn't. That weapon art is very limited. So you're stuck to just spinning, and once you commit, you're stuck spinning. Like if you stop spinning, you've lost a lot of stamina, and you're basically a sitting duck for attacks. I don't think it has as amazing damage as other ones. Let's see, 256 base damage. It's not bad. Where's Gundyrs? Oh, I've upgraded this, so I can't tell exactly. Like, let's see. If I was looking at polearms, I think I'd choose Gundyrs, because it has good strength and dexterity scaling, and it doesn't have that type of thing. Sunlight Talisman. Talismans? Yes, I would say probably. I know the absolute best weapon to get lightning damage off of is Yorshka's Chime, first off, but it's a chime, so it doesn't give you the poise buff. The Sunlight's Talisman, I think that goes up to A or S. Is that S or A? I don't remember. And I don't exactly have one upscaled on me right now. I can already tell for the type of fighting that I like to do. None of these weapons that have been listed are my type of weapons. I like fast weapons, but that also at the same time can be used to counter slower and faster weapons. Like, ooh, there's Smo's hammer. The Sora's greatsword doesn't weigh much, and it's still an ultra greatsword and has amazing damage. The Corvian Scythe, good for piercing shields, and it still has great elemental scaling, so if I use it with fire, it gets a ton of damage off of piercing shields. Sunlight Straight Sword, just the best straight sword. And it has good stamina usage. Warden Twin Blades or the Uchigatana. I like the Uchigatana because it can move you forward with its weapon art. But the Warden Twin Blades just do massive damage when they're infused. Like, huge damage. And they apply bleeding if you're fast enough. Although I don't really have luck leveled, so they're not going to do amazing bleeding. Torch. Yes, the torch is the best tool because it is the only tool. Torch is the best torch. It actually was kind of viable to fight with. Like, upgraded? Yeah, that's pretty good damage. Look at that shit. And it takes not much stamina. The only problem is that it leaves you pretty open. I know Lobos Jr. is doing a torch-only run, or he has every other game. Pretty sure he's doing it this one. Might have done it already. So, torch is not... I want to say it's not viable, but at the same time, every weapon is viable if you get good enough with it. Immolation Tinder. Ooh, that thing is pretty nice. If you're a sorcerer, and you have like... Yeah. The only problem is that its fire damage is only intellect scaling. If it scaled off of faith as well, then it would be great, but it is a magic casting thing. I think its moveset's pretty good though. Let's see. There's the overhand, and then the swing. Okay, and it does the cast if it's... And... Oh yeah! That's pretty good. I don't know if that's... Well... Step back to maybe not. It's pretty great though. Sellsword Twin Blades. They're inferior to the Warden Twin Blades, just all around. You can get better damage out of the Warden Twin Blades. So, if you're looking for that kind of thing, go for Warden. Or, if you're looking for Twin Blades in general, go for the Goddard Twin Blades, I guess. Although, those do not scale well with, like, infusions beyond Refined. And even then, I think the default is better than Refined. Check. I already did this testing, so if they're... Nope, Refined are okay. Refined are better. Noted. But yeah, if you're looking for Twin Blades, you are looking for the Warden ones. These drop from the Wardens outside, what's it called? The area where the Deacons are. That big... The graveyard outside with all of the respawning undead. Wow, someone broke something again. Great. The respawning undead around there. Those wardens are what dropped them. Moon Crescent Curve Sword. I don't know. I'll honestly say I don't know. That thing looked amazing. The only problem is that it isn't my type. I don't like them. I don't like that type of weapon. But I'm pretty sure it does a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure it has a good moveset, and I'm pretty sure it has the advantage that the Moonlight Greatsword does in its weapon art. Let's see. Looking for it. Do I not have it? I don't have it on me. But I know it does do a good amount of damage. Like, when it's fully upgraded, it does good damage. Beb broke something by the window. What was it? He broke something by the window. What was it? Moonlight Greatsword. Judgment, as I said, best greatsword. Does the most damage. Just even with just intellect. Like intellect, it scales better because of its buff. If you're looking for just magic damage though, I would go for the Moonlight Greatsword, because it does mostly magic damage. Hold on, I have to go check something, so be right back. Someone broke something. So, pause stream. So where were we? I'm gonna have to go soon, but I'll do some more PvP first. I think I'll do a few invasions, maybe 3. In the meantime, great axes. Or just great axe, or just the great axe. Which one of you have that? Because if we're talking about great axes in general, I think actually the demon great axe is a pretty good bet. I don't know if that's an ultra great axe though, or if that's even a thing. Old King's Great Hammer. It's not the axe I'm looking for. Just the great axe? Okay. Crescent axe. I think the great axe is outperformed by the demon great axe if you're looking for like reliable full damage. But the great axe does, yeah, it is. It's fucking amazing. But it also does fire damage, so it doesn't just do physical, which can be resisted very easily. Oh, great. Yeah, I'd say Demon Great Axe is probably outperforms the Great Axe in every way. I think it has better stamina consumption, better weapon art in general, just does better damage. Yeah, that's pretty good. For like just a. It's literally, it's not like an ultra weapon class. It's just great. So. Yeah, sounds right. I haven't really done a lot of testing with great axes, but from like just looking at them, it looks like it's the best for scaling. It's got infusion already into it with fire. It's got almost unavoidable like AoE weapon art, which is pretty FP efficient. What else? And I think it uses less stamina than the great axe, just by a smidgen. Or maybe it uses more. I can test that really quick. Let's see. Demon Great Axe. Okay. Guess I don't have one on me. Fair enough. Yeah, Demon Great Axe is right. Dragon Slayer weapons, all of them. The Dragon Slayer Crescent Axe has a weird moveset, I will give you that. And it has pretty... I think it has good poise once it's swinging. Like, not while it's traveling, but while it's swinging. But I don't know how its stamina consumption is. I used to love it back in Dark Souls 2, so I imagine it's still pretty good. The spear has a ranged attack built into it, which is pretty nice. It does lightning damage, and I think it scales. The big one, the Dragon Slayer axe, yeah, it does a lot of damage. It's got the weakness of only being up and down, though. It also uses a lot of stamina. And I don't think it scales off of faith well. Or at all. It might not at all. Oh shit. I'll go and hide over here really quick while I look at this. Not the big one. The smaller one? The Crescent Axe? I mean... maybe? It does pretty good damage. It doesn't have great poise and it uses a lot of stamina though. Like I said though, it has a really good moveset, so maybe. Like, the fact that it travels during it, it's pretty good. Pretty great on Faith if you've seen PvP skills vids. I'll be honest, I stay away from PvP vids. I literally take all of my information from experience. So if someone says something's good, I don't believe it's good until I've seen it myself. Butter knife. Oh, butcher's knife? Don't touch the fan. The butcher's knife heals you while you attack if you buff it. But it doesn't have great damage, unfortunately. Like, I was using it on my other character, and I'm using it primarily because you can heal while attacking with it, if you sharpen it. Like, if you have the ability to pause and sharpen it, then yes, it performs exceptionally well for axes. And it looks like a sword, which is a plus for me, because I like swords more than axes. I'm gonna say... oh, Great Scythe? No. Corvian Scythe is better, unfortunately. The Great Scythe does not do as much bleeding. It doesn't have good scaling. And on its own, it does less overall damage, I think. I know that infused, the Corvian Scythe outperforms it. Even if it's just simple. So... unless they're like buffing it in patch or something, the Great Scythe is not at all viable. The Corvian Scythe also has relatively the same moveset. So like, it's literally a better version of the Great Scythe. Ooh, I think this is Fight Club. Arcturus Greatsword or Farron's? Personally, the Arcturus Greatsword is better for me. I like it more. It has an amazing one-handed R2. It like travels forward and stabs, so it counts as thrust damage, and it takes advantage of both its damage and counter damage powers. It also does pretty fucking great just overall. Just doing some PvP, although the stream's gonna end after like 2 more fights. Okay, that looks like a washing pole. Yep, that's a washing pole.
Okay. Ooh, I love this axe.
Link to YouTube.
I've been on YouTube for a while, I just haven't streamed on it. And I didn't put much videos on it. Because I didn't have a lot of games I thought would be good with my commentary near them. Okay.
Red vestiges.
I still haven't healed once. Now I have. Are we gonna have a great weapon fight, sir? Ooh, out of essence.
Oh, I forgot to have tears.
Well, fair enough.
My bad.
Lightning steak. Lightning steak's pretty good.
What are you doing? I asked you to stop. You decided not to. Sorry.
So man, that's not how you get subs. You get subs by entertaining people, I guess. I mean, it doesn't even help you at all to have a subscription from someone who doesn't watch your videos, so. I stream and then upload the streams. That's how I get the videos done. Cause like, I can't afford any really amazing video software anyways. I know how to work with Hypercam, but that's like really cheap and doesn't work well.
Really broken and shit.
So, whatever. Fist weapons in general, or the Demon's Fist? Oh god, 3-on-1. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Claws or Demon Fist?
I'm gonna say
The claws are not as good as the Demon Fist unless you have absurd luck.
Claws are good if you have like a hollow infusion or something. I guess bleeding infusion maybe, but hollow infusion kind of makes it better. I don't know about that. The Cestus gives you, Cestus, however you say it, gives you some added poise, but I mean, it's not that amazing. Like, just looking at how much damage the Cestus does even when infused, it's not particularly great. But that's life. It does give you poise though, so like if you have the poise and someone just is an R1 spammer, you can literally just attack through theirs. So that's what it'd be good for, but against anyone with like a good moveset, not really. You can just dodge out of the second attack, just like any other weapon. I think I got invaded. Yeah, that's an invasion, alright. .40 HP? Or are you saying it leaves them with 40 HP? Because I've not ever been hit that hard by Cestus, or Cestus, whatever. Even when someone like infused or buffed it, it couldn't do that much damage. Like, it seems to me, a lot of the weapons you consider to be broken or OP do a lot of damage to people who are unarmored. So, do you just not wear armor in general? Or you bigger? How does... Well, okay. Yeah, like I said, do you just not use armor?
Okay, thanks for everyone who stopped by. Stream's gonna end in, well, as soon as I respawn and grab my souls, so. 'Twas fun. Probably will do a similar stream tomorrow, leveling up Moraine again. I think for the most part, I'm just gonna stick to leveling him until he hits 150, and then do some PvP on that character. So, that's all, and thanks for watching.